This is a Classic Cuts exclusive.
What's going on, everybody? This is Andre Classic Cuts. I'm back with a new video, and this one is specifically for people that want to teach their own self how to actually give their own self a nice crispy line without having to go to the barbershop every week or two. So pretty much I usually just let my hair grow about 3 weeks or so, or 2 weeks, and then I'll just give myself a line and still just let it grow. That way I don't have to actually take the whole time out to give myself a haircut every single 2 weeks or so. So I'm gonna just give you guys all of my tips on exactly how I go about creating my line. So first, I break out my comb, get my comb sesh going. Gotta straighten out the front of your head lines pretty much. Make sure there's at least a line there, or try to at least comb your hair all the way out so it doesn't have any knots or anything. Most people with coarse hair typically have really curly natural hair, so you have to actually straighten it out. That's how come sometimes it hurt. Then we go in with the brush session to make sure everything is laid down so it'll be much more easier to edge up. Then we have our wall heroes, my favorite ones, y'all already know. So now let's get into it. So first you really just examine your line pretty much. You pretty much just really make sure you have a line before you just jump in there. Pretty much just distinguish where you actually want the line to be. You don't create one, just have a heads up of what a line is. So pretty much you just go over however horrible, however bad the line already is. Just go over the tip of the whole messy line or messed up line. Regardless of if it's messed up, don't create one. Just try to go over all of the spots, all of the places, to just try to go over the line, or at least one that you gonna create in the future. So first, pretty much just go over everything real nice and slow. Try to knock down all the little hairs that's like sticking outside of the line. That's the main point. You don't want to create a line, because that's how you mess up. So you pretty much just keep going along the line, just getting the little hairs that's hanging over, the overgrowth. That's exactly what it's called, pretty much. You want to go over that. Notice that I keep going back and forth over and over again, because I'm really just making sure that I'm getting any little line that's hanging down. You're actually going back and forth real slow, real steady, with my mirror at the top of my head. People, if y'all seen my previous edit video, y'all know what my mirror is about. If you haven't seen that video, you need to go check it out. I think the most likes that I have out of all of my videos is actually on that video. Pretty legit. Pretty much just go real slow. You don't want to rush, and just get the little hairs on the end. You don't create a line. You don't go all the way back and try to just cut a line into your hair when you first start. That's not the best move. Just gonna knock out the little hairs that's actually hanging over. If you actually look, you can see like a little bit of the hairs that I actually have on my forehead is from the little bitty hairs that I was pretty much hanging down. And if you can see that my line is still crooked. It's still curvy. It's not a solid straight line, because I'm pretty much just knocking down the little hairs first. That's the main goal. Just knock down the little hairs, and then you make big steps. It's like anything. So I just keep going back and forth to the point that it actually looks like my hairline is actually starting to look crisp. So I just keep going back and forth. I use my mirror. You guys need to go watch that mirror video. You'll understand what I'm talking about. So I just go real nice and slow, nice and steady. No point of being in a rush. It's better to have a crispy line that'll take 2 hours versus having a bad line that'll take 2 weeks. I mean, hey, it's all up to you. I mean, hey, it's your head at the end of the day. Just go nice and steady back and forth. Make sure you get the little hairs. Don't just jump into it. Like, you should never go like 2 or 3 inches automatically into your lineup. Like, that's ridiculous. That's like you asking for your line to get pushed all the way back, or for it not to even come out as an actual line. Just go real nice and slow. There's no point of being in a rush. Just be in your own zone. Understand that you're not gonna be able to actually create a perfect line on the first try, you know. But I mean, you can get something crispy or real close to it. So as you can see right now, still my line is finally a little bit crispy, but you can clearly see that it's not extremely straight. But I mean, the whole point is just to knock out the little ass first, like I said, before I actually go in and actually touch up and make it extremely straight. Also, mind you that my hair is like 3 weeks long. I usually don't cut my hair too often. So that's how come it's like if you grow your hair out that long, like longer than what your hair should be, or to the point that you need a haircut, you need to understand that your lineup isn't gonna be extremely crisp versus actually going out and getting a full-blown haircut. Your line is gonna be way more crisp. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw a clip of me edging myself up with a fresh cut at the end of the video, just to show you the difference between actually giving yourself an edge up with after like 3 weeks to the point where you need to have a haircut versus getting a fresh cut altogether. Matter of fact, so you pretty much just still go over the little hairs, and pretty much right now, as I can see, it looks like I'm actually trying to make it straight. So pretty much once you have a good idea of which side is lower, which side is higher, which side you actually need to touch up on in order to make the line straight, that's the part that you actually attack. So you look at the corners first. Based on the corners, you can easily tell, okay, this side is lower, this side is higher. This is the side that I need to go cut on. This is the side that I don't need to go cut on. Right, if you look at my left side, you can see how it's kind of curving right there. That's the only side that I really need to touch. The middle and the sides of my middle, I don't have to worry about that. It's just that corner piece over there. Yeah, right there. I'm about to knock that out and try to make it as straight as possible. You don't have to always make sure that it's a ruler sharp every single time. Trying to do that, you're gonna end up cutting yourself. But I mean, you just want something solid, or at least just to hold you for another week or so. If you're not trying to get a haircut automatically, I mean, nobody is gonna get a haircut every single 2 weeks for the rest of their life. A lot of people is just gonna get a line up because people don't have the time to get a haircut every 2 weeks, including myself when I cut hair. Pretty much I'm just making sure, just touching up on everything. That's all it is, just a little touch up. That's too crucial. So now you can clearly see, like right there in the middle, I'm making that part straight because it's drooping down. Right there in the middle, I'm making it really, really straight to match my sides. There you go. Knock out the middle, going along the sides. Cause I kind of got like a little widow's peak going on every now and then. If I grow it out for a long time, I'll get one. So now I'm pretty much just knocking out that line in the front, making sure that's crisp, making sure it's an actual straight line, or at least a line to actually be able to distinguish. Kind of pat my hair down, kind of see how it's gonna look. Also, you need to understand, when you're giving yourself a lineup, when you like 3 weeks in or haven't cut your hair in a while, you also need to understand with you giving yourself a lineup is going to look totally different once you throw on a do-rag. When you throw on a do-rag, it's going to look 10 times better that morning when you wake up. It's going to look perfect. Here's exactly how my lineup looks after that fresh cut. See how it's much more crispier versus how it actually looks now with me giving myself a lineup within like 3 weeks or time later. It's much more straight, much more crisp. Really not even one speck of air. Well, that's the video. It's Andre Classic Cuts. Hit up your boy if you have a question. Always hit me up on Instagram at Classified Keys. Hit me up on Twitter, also at Classified Keys. And like I said, if you have a question, hit me up.